Hey y'all, I'm gonna be reacting to Gibiate Episode 9, and for those of our curious, I am watching it from Crunchyroll's website, but without further delay, I'm gonna start my reaction in 1-0, go. Alright. Looks like we're gonna have a new one. Just so she is actually. Oh. Okay, never mind, I was about to say. Looks like trouble already. Huh. It's actually good to see why they actually follow him. Follow him. Huh. Which doesn't seem like the most precise and best way of actually combating people. We haven't really seen guns have the best effect against Gibios, though. That's the thing. Huh. I wonder if it's. The series hasn't actually explained how the other words truly dealt with Jibia that well. But hey, that's interesting to actually know that even though you got some of the countries that do have a lot of guns, that are still struggling with the Jibia. But that's something I've been wondering though. In regards to why haven't the countries with, at the very least, a lot of firearms, why haven't they been able to push back Jibia as well as, say, countries without as many guns? Because you would think with the higher amount of guns in some countries, they would at the very least be just a little bit better off, you know? But hey, I mean, it doesn't really seem that feasible to me that there are countries with guns, at least in this specific scenario, would be in the same shitty spot as a country that didn't have as many guns. But hey. Even though that throwaway line isn't the best, if this episode can at the very least elevate itself with some decent writing and some good action, then everything's gonna be, for the most part, fine. I just hope nothing happens to the monk though, because he's been one of my faves. Hell, I think I've been liking his scenes more than Sentui's or Kenroku. Oh, actually, not as much as Kenroku. Similarly to Kenroku, but he's definitely been pretty darn charismatic. Oh my. Did he get stung? Oh no. Who knows? Maybe he's. They actually didn't really show Yukinojo's body that much because, for all we know, they could have been just scrapes during the fight that he had against the Gibiate, and not any type of major injuries. Hmm. I mean, hey, at least Yuki Onjo, he actually kept his promise. The charm actually worked. It didn't kill him. It wasn't a death flag. Oh, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, at least he protected the charm. You know that is a badass way of going down. He may have been stabbed to death, but he protected his charm. He protected it with all he could. I don't think she should blame herself because they're in an environment where she didn't have any luxuries of getting a proper charm. Oh no. Don't tell me that was the mother. So that's why he left. Fuck! I mean, if it took that to take him down, he went down like that. Oh, man. Man, those two really hit off pretty well. I was hoping that they ended up together. I mean, I guess you could say they ended up together in death. She's got that right, man. Yuki Onjo. He's definitely, out of all of them, he's definitely the one of the ones that deserve to live the most. Man. I don't think Sensei should be hard on himself though, because he put up all of his strength to protect them all, you know? Oh man. I gotta admit, seeing that compassionate scene from Sensei was pretty damn good. Still kind of hurts me when I didn't see Yuki Onjo actually do a last stand though, but I guess in a way this is effective too because it's just sheer on shocking that he died that way. Not like these four stooges actually deserve luck though with all the bad things they've caused other people, so ha! Karma's a bitch! Okay, looks like he actually has got an eerie feeling. Yeah, okay, good. At least that man isn't an amateur because he was able to grasp that there was Gibiate around. But that's a positive. Because I thought at least in most cases in this series, sometimes some characters act like complete dumbasses. Some of them. I mean, you can't eat those raw. I've eaten those raw before. I mean, it isn't optimal, but it isn't optimal, but I would have probably eat those. I mean, have any of y'all eaten cup noodles raw before? Oh, it's probably not Scream because nobody does you all the oh snap. Oh, what a lucky bitch. So pretty much Kathleen's mother was stung. Not even being that far away from a Gibiate, but this one where this fatty stepped on it, it didn't sting him. I call bullshit on that. And a little bit of plenty consistency there. I'm like, really? Really? How is he so dumb to not even bring this explosive? This is the thing about this series. It does some good shit, like the Yuki Onjo scene where we see him die. That was kind of sad. Here, this scene is just complete fucking idiocy and terrible writing. Because these people have survived a long time in a role full of Gibiate. You would think they'd be prepared 100% of the time. Ready to fight. At the very least prepared from a materialistic standpoint. Yeah, they might as well go in for the kills because all things regardless, even if they're not gonna, if they can somehow fix their van to the point where it's operational, they should still kill them so that the Gibiate can't multiply. And they still look ugly as. I mean, you know what? At this point, I'm not even gonna expect good CGI from this Gibiate at this point. I gotta admit though, that is a smart tactic. Wow, they can't even animate. He can't even animate his jump properly. Okay, what type of bullshit is that? Even Alien get Precure, when a character jumps, they're actually able to animate it properly. And that series is a long running production. This one's is a seasonal, and it's still. Yeah, at least it can boil some water now. Probably would. It's just the same as being stung by one. Good. I am glad he's feeling bad. He should feel absolutely fucking awful. And even if I and his father would have become, say, a person with some ethics, it's not gonna make up for everything he's done, but hey, it would be a start. I mean, I can't. Alright, I mean, at least he's having some character development and slightly changing his mindset. Because it's not like they actually need a watch. I mean, what's a watch gonna do? I mean, yes, you could argue there's more on Stardew Valley, but alright. At least he's slightly changing. I mean, hey, it's better than nothing. As for Kathleen, she can't be too hard on herself. The only thing she can do is just try to. Huh? Okay, those look pretty dang. Let me take that. Aww. You know, for the small amount of time I am has been in this series in comparison to the other, she has been pretty dang impactful. Huh. I'm assuming now it's going to show someone can ruckus past because I don't think the moon be red for no reason. Yep. I had a feeling. Yeah, that definitely applies to anime. I mean, 99.999% of the time, Red Moon's vending dash, especially for protagonists or antagonists. It really depends on the context. But you know, that kind of scares me though, because if we ever were to see a Red Moon, Kenroku that would pretty much imply that he'd be fucked. That'd be his death flag lifted. So I hope for Kenroku's sake, there's never a Red Moon. I'm across my fingers. Because aside from Yuki Onjo, Kenroku was also one of my faves in this series. And Ayame, like if literally all those three die, this series would be completely dead to me. Because then at that point there'd be no more super likable characters anymore. Didn't really see the impact frame there, but I mean, at least it's better than stills, which is kind of just kind of said that that's really the best I can give Gibiate. Where oh no, they're using speed blinds now and flashing screens with flashing blue lights and black screens. Oh boy, it's the only one of the most oldest tricks in the books for saving budget. I don't know. Oh, that's a bro right there. Fuck yeah, trying to do it on a boy coming over dirty. I'm glad. It's only a shame that. No. Fuck, man. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Since he didn't mention. Since I don't think he would have mentioned the running moon if he didn't see it. So that's going to imply that whenever there's a dangerous situation, Kimroku's going to sacrifice his life to protect someone. I wouldn't be surprised if that someone ended up either being Kathleen or even Ayame, because this is perfect setup, man. This feels like a freaking death flag. No. And you know, even though Shino was there for a small amount of time, he was pretty damn cool too. Hell, I like Shino more than some of the main characters. Shit. Thought he was more interesting than at least the small amount of time we've seen Sensui. Oh, he was like a sweet one. Eesh. Hmm. It always sucks to be the bearer of bad news. Oh. Hmm. God, I mean, that even though those episodes have mostly derpy moments of directing, that was a good sense of direction there. With Kuroku not even requiring to say what actually went on, just showing off Shinon's weapon is enough to get off the information that he's dead. So I gotta admit, that's a good sense, at least in that scene. I'll give the animators some credit. And I like that there. That shows you why there was a lot of significance for the scythe too. Well, now, kind of like how that also shows you the roughness of being transported also to the modern times. Not being able to see how his loved one died, or even being able to protect him. Kind of like how it's bringing up the psychological angle there, too. The only thing she can do is now is just survive. That's the only thing she can do. Because that's what Yukionjo and her mother would have wanted. Ah, fuck. Oh no. That feels like a death flag for Kenroku because if Sensui's saying that knowing Kenroku's personality, he's gonna want to sacrifice himself so that Sensui isn't even taken in. But oh, you know what? That is sweet there. Like the stick with the scarf of Kathleen's mother and Yukionjo's red necklace. That was a beautiful little scene there. Kind of like a nice funeral for both of them, since they get and also another fates were intermingled because they both died relatively at the same time. Gotta admit that was impactful. I ain't gonna lie. Fuck. I do not like that death flag on our Kenroku though, because I'm like, for one, he looked pissed when Sensei said that. And since we saw in the flashback that Kenroku wishes he himself would have died again instead of Shinon, I'm assuming that now he's gonna want to give up his life so that Sensei can continue on living. There's like way too much setup for that not to happen. And I freaking love Kenroku. Fuck! Kenroku is actually my fave in this series. If he dies, man, I don't even know how I'm gonna react. I hope he doesn't die though, but shit, it's not looking good for him. And saying that though, this episode was pretty darn good. If I were to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and being exceptional, it was a 7 out of 10. Despite it having a few wonky plot holes, like when they mentioned shit like, oh yeah, even the countries with guns struggled the same amount against the Gibiate in comparison to countries that didn't have guns, and I'm like, okay, I call bullshit on that, because they even mentioned how guns are effective against Gibiate. One statement contradicts the other because of there are countries that had more guns. How in the fuck would they be struggling to the same degree as countries that don't have as many guns? That's where I feel it's kind of a slight plot hole there. And then another thing that I didn't like about this episode was just the animation, and for some reason it feels like it's gotten worse. Because at least the first few episodes had some wonky action animation. This one didn't really have that. Now it's resorting to speed lines, black screens with flashing lights for action. It's like, come on, animators, have you you know what, I think they've given up at this. No, you know what, they've given up. After the first episode, the animators have completely given up and stopped giving a shit. Which is a shame because some of the characters in the series are good. So, that was kind of like a heartbreaker there, seeing that. But in saying that though, I thought Yuki Honjo's death was impactful though. even though it was obvious he was gonna die, and he had a lot of death flags on him, it was still sad to see his body there. And it was even sad just to see the fact that the reason why he died was because he saw Yuki Onjo's in their Gibiate form. If he would not have seen that, he would have probably been able to survive. So, thought it makes things pretty tragic, and I thought the emotional touch of showing the scarf and the necklace was pretty darn beautiful at the end. And another thing I like too, aside from all that, I actually like just the fact that we're getting to see Kenroku character development. We're seeing what he's all about in his backstory. And now we're seeing that he's capable of sacrificing himself, because it implied that if he knows now that since he saw the red moon, Kenroku's not gonna let Sensui die. And we know Kenroku's capable of giving up his life towards a brother from another mother. And on top of that, I just love how this episode had like almost no chill time, except for the scenes that had Alyame's father. I'm like, was it really fucking necessary? But I'd say other than that, it did pretty well for itself. Thought you already know my thoughts on the visuals. Thought they were crap, but in the voice performances were good, and that's why I thought this episode of the scale of 1 to 10, with 9 being average and 10 being exceptional, 7 out of 10. I thought it was at least good enough to get that, just because of Yuki Onjo's death, because I thought he was a pretty dang good character. But yeah, these are my thoughts on the episode. I thought that it still had more pros than positives. I just hope that when it gets to the 10th episode, if Kenroku would have died, they had better make that episode fucking beautiful, because he's my favorite character in the series. I'm gonna piss the fuck off if they fuck that up. But anyways, these are my thoughts on episode 9, y'all. I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you feel about the episode, or my reaction in the comment section below. Share the video if y'all want to. Subscribe if you don't want to miss my Gibiate episode 10 reaction. And I'll see you guys later if you come back for more. But anyways, y'all, have a great and safe day, and thank you so much for watching my video, everyone. Bye-bye.